On the surface of earth, all plants and animals, including man, most essential commodities are air and water. Without that, there is no life. And it is available everywhere, and we are getting it free of cost from the nature. But there are certain areas where water is very difficult to get avail. That is deserts. Then some other areas are there where abundance of water are there, but it is not potable or drinkable. It contains compounds of mainly metal compounds that dissolves in water, and among the metal compounds, iron oxide is the most important. This iron oxide in our country, more than 500 districts is affected by iron contamination. That is the report says. Companies are now doing the work for removal of iron. They are using so many chemicals. Byproducts are formed. Then for removal of that, filters are used. Filters are to be frequently backwashed. All these causes very much difficulties, attention of regular daily attention of the owner of the tank. For avoiding all these, I have made a process which is free from all chemicals and filters and backwashing. No chemical is used, only oxygen, which is available, abundantly available in air. 20% of the air is oxygen. That is used. The byproduct is ferric oxide that can be removed without using any filter or backwashing. It is removed through by gravity segregation. All chemicals are hazardous and dangerous. It is toxic to the human body. This is the advantage of the main advantage, highlight of this system is it doesn't use chemicals, pneumatic system using compressed air, for which it requires a service of a compressor. That's all. I have got 1 acre of land in Anjal village. This land was earlier wetland, paddy land. Since it became unfit for paddy cultivation, the revenue authorities permitted to me to reclaim the land. That is, fill it with dry soil, and for about 5 feet height, I made it. I want to make a farmyard, and I filled it. In 2010, I constructed a house also here. Before starting the construction work, I made a well here, open well, that was carrying about 12 feet depth. It was carrying abundant quantity of water, but after the housewarming of the house was completed, and when he started staying here, when he used the water, we could feel that it has got some pale yellow color that was noticed earlier. And further studies, it was made clear that this water is containing exorbitant quantity of iron oxide. That is harmful iron oxide. That is called ferrous oxide. Ferrous oxide. It contains about 8 ppm, where ppm is the part per million in the international data. And the maximum permitted quantity is 0.3 ppm. Therefore, it is highly hazardous. Therefore, I had to, experts advised me to make a borewell. I made it one after the other. I made 2 borewells. That also was carrying the same level of ferrous oxide due to the crack in the rock. Through the crack, the surface water will leak into the groundwater also. That also got failed. Even though I spent lakhs of rupees unnecessarily, it also ended in vain. Then I started thinking how the open well is giving me adequate quantity, even abundant quantity of water, but how is it possible to make a remedy for this iron contamination? My further study showed that it is ferrous oxide. The property of ferrous oxide I studied, it revealed that the property of ferrous oxide is readily dissolves in water. Therefore, dissolve in water just like salt and sugar. Therefore, it is very difficult to separate ferrous oxide from water. It is in the dissolved form. Therefore, when I studied more about the ferrous oxide, I could conclude that ferrous oxide has got an advantage that it has got high affinity to oxygen. Even our atmosphere, it has got high affinity. When it gets the contact with the oxygen or air, it readily converts to ferric oxide. Ferric oxide color has changed. Formerly the water was yellowish. Now when it becomes ferric oxide, it becomes some reddish or brownish. That will not dissolve in water. That is the main advantage of ferric oxide. It precipitates, and it's I verified its specific gravity. It is found 5.6 5.6 means more than 5 times heavier than water. Then naturally segregation is very easy, because if you keep it still for a few hours, all the ferric oxide powder, precipitated powder, will settle in the bottom of the tank, and the top layer will become very clear pure water, and the water has to be delivered from the top layer itself. This technology I have first used in this well. My well has got a cover, but when a cover is given, it prevents the normally it prevents the entry of UV rays from the sunlight. It is highly beneficial for killing the germs. Therefore, I have used a polycarbonate transparent sheet, so that light will enter the well water, and well water will get abundant quantity of UV rays, thereby the germs can be killed. This is revolvable, therefore it can be opened fully, it can be closed, it can be locked also. Here the lock is there. When you are not at home, this can be locked. We can see now aeration is going on. No pumping is necessary, because the well contains the water, and this is the aerator from the same compressor. Compressed air is coming and goes to the bed of the well, where the small bubbles are formed. You can see the bubbles are getting released after moving through the pool of water. Normally at 6 o'clock in the evening it will be aerated for about 10 minutes, and after that we will close the cover, water will remain still there. Then in the morning at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock we start pumping to the overhead tank. It is fitted in the terrace, and here the problem, well, in the well the water level won't be steady at all. In the heavy rainy season the level will be the highest. In the drought when comes it will be lowest. Therefore, I have taken 3 points, that is top one point, middle point, and the drought time 3 points, that is 1, 2, 3. The ring number is given, that is 2, 4, 6. At the level footwalls are given at different depths, and this is connected to a common shaft which goes to the suction side. When we have all the footwall pipe has got valves, separate valves. When the heavy rainy season, that is number 6 will be opened, that is the highest position. That will be, valve will be opened, the other 2 valves will be closed, so that the water from the top level will be pumped. When the water level goes down due to drought or lack of rain, second one will be used, middle one will be used, other 2 will be closed. And during drought season, the lowermost will be opened, and the other 2 valves will be closed. Therefore, instead of the sensor, we have made such a trick here. This can be done in a different way also. I have done in Kollam on Mr. Raghunath Nair, who requested me. There he was ready to fit a aeration tank. That is double the capacity of our requirement. His requirement is 1,500 liters daily. Therefore, he was ready to, I asked him to install a water tank of 3,000, double the capacity. Then the water will be pumped, 2 pumps will be required. First the well water will be pumped to the aeration tank, 3,000 liter capacity tank. It will be aerated in the evening. In the morning, as is in this case also, water will be pure, about more than 50% the top level. Bottom level will be ferric oxide powder will be there, and in the bottom end it will be, there will be a very dense concentrated ferric oxide is there. The delivery pipe is fitted in the middle of the height with an elbow facing upward, so that the top layer, 50% of the top layer or the half the total height, water will be pumped to the, using a pump, it has to be pumped to the overhead tank in the terrace, fitted in the terrace. In this case on pump is necessary. In the other case, 2 pumps are required for pumping water. Therefore, that is, the other thing is more expensive, but this is less expensive. These 2 ways it can be done. But the basic principle is the same in the case of unlike rotor, that is a commercial model. But basic principle is the same, but way in which is carried out is different, that's all. You can see how much pure was the water in the top level, more than 50%. And the bottom portion was a bit cloudy, but that also will get cured within 6 hours during the delivery time. That is the advantage of this thing. Here the most important thing to be noted is no chemical is used. In conventional purification plants, chemicals are used. The chemicals like alum, bleaching powder, chlorine, potassium chloride. These chemicals were used for converting ferrous oxide to various compounds. That forms byproducts. That byproducts has to be removed. For removal of the byproducts, we are installing filters. They are installing filters. Filter when the water is directed through the filters, naturally these impurities will be filtered and water will come out. But this will make clogging, blockage. Then for that removing that it has to be provided with backwashing. But when repeated backwashing will not have much effect, the clogging will continue, the sand bed has to be replaced. It is expensive and all these chemicals and everything has to be, we have to have frequent attention is there, highly expensive, and complaints are also so many. But in this case, Mr. Raghunath has installed it in 2019, this one is in 2018. Both these system did not develop any complaint at all, not even a single paisa was spent for the maintenance or upkeep of the system. That is the main advantage, less expensive. In a commercial model of 1 lakh liter capacity, attention is personal attention or man attention is the least needed, because even in a mobile phone it can be controlled. Starting pump, mobile phone used, then automatically a relay, a TDR is used, water pumping will be stopped when the tank is full, or even float can be provided there for that purpose. Then automatically the compressor will start, for 1 hour it will work, then thereafter it will stop, then keep it idle for 12 hours. Then in the morning he need come to open the valve. After 6 hours he will have to come to open the slurry valve. These two only operations required, therefore the manpower required is the least. That is advantage. The main advantage is avoids all chemicals, only natural oxygen is used. Second is it does not use filter. These are the highlights. It never uses chemicals, filters, and backwashing is most difficult to do always. That also is not necessary. Our care is very much limited, reduced. That is the advantage. I have got a patent now for this invention or innovation. These are the things I have to say about this. Normally, the slurry sludge removal valve will be opened only after completion of the delivery water supply is closed. Only after that, then that at that time this level sensor will go to the lower lock and remain there, and the portion of water and slurry mixture beneath that has to be removed through the valve. It will be started only after closing the delivery valve. But in this case, for reducing the time I have opened both the valves. Therefore, now delivery valve also is carrying bad water containing ferrous oxide. Since I have shown it earlier that how it is delivering good water alone, I have shown. Therefore, avoid wastage of time, I have now opened both the valves and we can see how it is working. Normally, it will not be done like that. Only after closing the delivery valve, we will open the slurry valve. Then the tank will be almost empty. Then we can start pumping water again. That once in a day, we will get a 6 hours supply of 1 lakh 97,000 liter, because 3% will remain in the bottom as slurry water that cannot be used. The top layer is at 97%, that is 97,000 liters of water every day we can get. Then this is the prototype miniature model of the tank to be proposed, installing for the panchayats. We have seen that when the water was aerated, at that time its color was brown or reddish, we can say. That water was kept calm or without any disturbance, it was kept in the tank, and after 12 hours the change you can see. So all the ferric oxide powder formed during aeration now has settled down on the bed of the tank, and the top layer is absolutely pure, free of ferrous oxide. Top layer has to be delivered to the public. This is the commercial model, I have already said, commercial model, which represents is a prototype of 1 lakh liter capacity water tank, reduced model, that is a prototype. All the components, the main components of this tank is the treatment plant also is inside the storage tank. In the field, it represents 1 lakh liter capacity water tank, which has got 6 meters length, 6 meters width, and 3 meters height of water. It can retain, that is 1 lakh liter of water. Within 24 hours, we can see the 97% of that is 97,000 liters of water can be purified, can be made free of ferrous oxide within 24 hours. It can be supplied to the public for their daily domestic use. Main components of this system is First is the aerator. Aerator means millions of bubbles are created in the tank through this aerator. This is the aerator. Aerator system is a network of pipes which has got small holes of 1 mm dia and underneath at 45 degrees and at a distance of 5 centimeters. This gives get the power from the air compressor, and the compressed air is coming to through these pipes on either side of the network of aerator pipes. When the compressor is started, we can see that air is released in bubble form, and hundreds of bubbles are released in the water pool from the bottom end, and it goes to the top, and thereby it creates molecular contact between air and contaminated water. Thereby the ferrous oxide is chemically converted to ferric oxide. When conversion is made, it has to be kept undisturbed for about 12 hours. During these 12 hours, we can see the peculiarity of the ferric oxide is it will not dissolve in water. It form a precipitate. It forms particles of brown color or red color, you can say. It will settle out in the bottom of the tank, and the top layer you can see completely pure, free of iron contamination. And half below are a bit cloudy, but it takes some more time for that portion also get purified. When water is taken out from the top, we require a mechanism called the sensor mechanism. It will always remain in the surface of the water, whether it is water is full or half or low. Level sensor it is called. Now the tank is full, therefore it is remaining at the top. And through this orifice of the intake of water, pure water, it need not be pumped because the tank is overhead tank installed at a height of 20 feet. That is a normal water tank for the public use. Therefore, the water will naturally flow due to gravity. When the delivery valve is opened, we can see that the water is going out from the top level of the water level. It goes, it is got sufficient immersion is there, otherwise air bubbles will enter. Air will enter the pipe. In the actual tank, the delivery pipe will be starting from the bottom bed of the tank. But here it is made of glass. It's not safe to make hole in the glass. Therefore, I have used a siphonic system here. Here from this orifice fitting tank portion, it is connected to the main pipe through a flexible hose. Then there is a non-return valve. Then siphonic action is there. The downward pipe is there. When that is opened, we can see water is flowing without taking any air bubbles inside. When air bubbles is if entered, that will cause obstruction to the water flow. This is the mechanism. The proposal is from morning to 12 o'clock. That is 6 hours delivery of good water is there. Every house will get the supply, and they have to provide 500 or 1000 liter capacity tank in their house because after 12 o'clock it will be shutdown is taken for purification treatment. Therefore, 6 hours supply every day people will get, and after 12 o'clock the pumping starts for 5 hours. By about 5 p.m. then the pumping is stopped and aeration is started. Up to 6 o'clock it will be over. Completely conversion is then taking place, ferrous oxide to ferric oxide, and it will be kept undisturbed for 12 hours. That is in the morning. We will get a top layer completely purified water, bottom half bottom we can see is a bit cloudy. That also will become pure after 5 or 6 hours. When delivery is started for 6 hours, at that time also setting is taking place in the bottom end. That can be seen here. Then let us examine what happens when the delivery pipe is open. In the actual field it will be 6 inches big pipes, but here it is only a prototype, smaller miniature type. The size of the pipe is given a reduction. Then we can see the mechanism here, how it works in the from the surface of water, how it takes water. Of course, this mechanism is different because it is made of glass. I have put all the siphonic system. Otherwise, the delivery pipe can start from the bottom of the bed of the tank. That is avoided from the, but here it is taken from above the tank. We can see how the water is getting entered. Here this sensor mechanism, automatically it goes down when water level falls. It always remain on the surface level of water, a bit immersed, because otherwise air will get into the pipe system. Therefore, automatically it remains a bit below the surface water, but now the pure water is flowing. Then the flow will continue another 6 hours, that is a delivery time, and during that time also the bottom layer is getting purified. When the level starts going down, this sensor mechanism also follows suit, and it also goes down automatically. It goes down, no external interference is necessary. It will go down and it will reach to the lower lock and will rest there. And the water and slurry mixture is below that. That can be removed. That also will automatically flow out by opening the slurry valve. That will I will show. That mechanism is very simple. Since the tank is at a height, naturally it will flow out. No pumping is necessary. The two machines required is the first is the water pump, 5 HP, and the compressor 5 HP. Both pump has to work for 5 hours, and aerator compressor has to work for 1 hour. Then I will show the slurry removal mechanism also. This is the slurry removal pipe system. That also has got a valve which is fitted on the ground at the reachable height. Both the valves are fitted at reachable heights, because the tank it is a very height, more than 20 feet height. Therefore, the valve has to be operated by the operator standing on the ground. Therefore, it has to be fixed on the ground at 5 feet height. These three are the main mechanisms: compressor, water pump is there, then aerator, then level sensor mechanism, then the drainage system. Slurry has to be removed automatically. Though these delivery system, both the delivery system takes place automatically, not from any external influence. Now water is going out. We can see slowly that sensor mechanism is going down and down. No air will enter it. When the water reaches in the bottom, we can see this also goes and rest on the lower lock.